create some platform within the institute, and within this Bitosa Global, we are creating platforms for exchange and interface between industry and the institute, interface between the ideas and how to implement them. The incubation centers that what we are talking about. This is something where, this conclave will be we're trying to do that. Any other, VC sir? Haan sir.
Okay. As you know, if you go to our website, BIT has some firsts to its credit. One is it had the first space engineering and rocketry department. Another first that BIT had was STEP, Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Park, where this thing that all of us want, that incubation space be provided to, BIT students. What has happened is, whatever space was given to these entrepreneurs, they have captured it, and they are not even paying the minimal 50 rupees per year or 500 rupees per year rent that they were supposed to, and BIT is not getting any return. BIT has lost the land that it had provided to these entrepreneurs. What is worse is, some of these, got inspired by what our present chairman's father and Dr. Pandey, had envisaged in STEP, and they failed. So these failed entrepreneurs had to be adjusted as teachers, and one of them is director of one of our centers.
So, I still remember this Sirdo.
So incubating, has been dangerous for BIT, and we are going to be very careful.
No, I fully appreciate that, Dr. Mishra. And we had seen this Sirdo come up when we were in college. And Sirdo was, in fact, the bringing of the new ideas and innovations, and helping Sirdo was helping them implement them. And those were supposed to be just pilot plants, where people were to experiment with the technology and move out. They did not move out. You see, that is where I think the problem was. Sirdo was an incubation center. Sirdo was to provide the platform where that you could try out your technology. Once it becomes, the product becomes marketable, you move out, make place for the other one, and go into the industrial area and start producing commercially. That was the basic idea of the incubation center, and that is what is the idea right now also.
They have subleased, without our permission, the land that was given to them.
So
and as I tell you, what is more disastrous is, since Dr. Pandey had, encouraged some of these people, when they failed, they had to be brought in as teachers. They're professors, right? And they're directors.
So, sir, we have to do some correcting measures on this. And when we start afresh with a new program, I think we'll have to take care of these legalities and also get kind of bond signed and all that, whatever is required legally to, protect the rights of the institute, protect the rights of the industry which is providing these incubation centers, providing the rights on the products which get created by them. Because you see, ultimately, it is the patent rights on the products also. So I think later on, people must pay back on if some facility has been created. I think it has been a wonderful session, and though we have slightly overshot on time, and thank you very much for your patient listening, and I think we'll, thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all our esteemed panelists. A warm round of applause. I'd like to request Mr. Ruchi Mittal, Managing Director, Overdrive Engineering Private Limited, to please join us on stage and present mementos to all our very special panelists on the stage. Welcome, sir. It was absolutely wonderful listening to all of you, your insights. And we've learned about the numerous possibilities that exist around us. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you to all our panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick break for tea, coffee. Let's keep it 20 minutes so that we eventually begin in 25, I'm hoping. So 20-minute break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll meet you at 4:35 p.m. I'd also request our speakers for the next panel to assemble in Kalinga room. They are Mr. Neeraj Sharan, Mr. Anjan Lahiri, Mr. Nirankar Saxena, and Mr. Naveen Kumar. Please, with large global companies like Das Research, Mekon, ABB, and Yokogawa in the process control and automation fields, and was a recognized pioneer in the launch of distributed control systems in the process manufacturing industry. Since June of 2009, Mr. Sharan serves as member Technical Expert Committee, Government of India, under the Department of Science and Technology. We also have with us Mr. Anjan Lahiri, who till recently was the CEO of Sasken. Before joining Sasken, he was the president and CEO of Mindtree's IT services business and a station in Bangalore. Prior to relocating to Bangalore in 2008, he spent 5 years in London setting up and then growing Mindtree's European operations. In the year 1999, when he joined Mindtree as a part of the founding team, he helped set up Mindtree's New Jersey office and then led Mindtree's US West Coast operations from San Jose, California from 2000 to 2003 before relocating to London. Mr. Nirankar Saxena is a Senior Director, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. He heads the Business Information Services Network Division at FICCI and manages multiple project portfolios. Mr. Saxena works towards the cause of disaster management in India and works very closely with associations such as National Disaster Management Authority of India. Finally, we are happy to say we have with us Mr. Naveen Kumar, who runs a consulting practice in the areas of corporate strategy and people strategy. He has over 30 years of international corporate experience and is also an advisor to the BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is a University of Leeds, UK, and IIM Ahmedabad alumni. So with that, I hand over to Mr. Neeraj Sharan, who will be our moderator for this session, which promises to be a very interesting one.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for the kind words that you've used for all of us. Since morning, I've been in a state what I call nostalgia. Because, you know, when you come to a situation and a place like this where you meet your alumni, everything else for me has shut down. Whatever remains is only my college, my friends, the feelings. तो मुझे एक शेर याद आ रहा है, वही कैंपस, वही हॉस्टल, वही ढाबा याद आता है, अकेला जब भी होता हूँ, BIT याद आता है. And friends, trust me, we're all very busy people in our lives, but tell me, what price are you willing to pay when you have a state of mind, when your defenses are down, you are in your true element, you're just who you are. There's a flow of conversation, there are no expectations, and even silence speaks. I think it's priceless. And one of the priceless moments that we always encounter is when we meet alumni from the times when we were almost nothing. We used to share cigarettes. We know how our pocket money used to run from the first week to the last week. So I personally, to all the organizers, and I really think they've done a great job, I at least pledge that whatever needs to be done, we'll do and make this a sustainable, long-enduring event. So I think let's make that pledge. That will be the first takeaway for all of us is, can we make that pledge? All of us make that pledge. I think that's a very good starting point. Now, I know this is 90 minutes, and let's flip this conversation today. This debate and this panel discussion, I want to flip it. And rather we answering questions, let me ask some questions to the audience. Is that okay with everyone? So my question would be first to, now we have three words that come out of this subject: global, companies, and emerging economies. I think a lot of these definitions are being redefined in today's context. I mean, whether you call it the world is flat or someone says it's not flat, that's a different subject. Do you think global companies are only limited to billion-dollar plus large enterprises, or we are talking about global companies? How do you define a global company? Can someone answer that, please, for me? In today's context, what is your notion of a global company? I see a hand there. Because, you know, it's good to start a conversation from some definitions. And I'm sure my panelists will get enough teaser questions to work your answers around this. Is that okay?
Emerging companies in global economies.
Okay.
And then we can start that it doesn't matter whether we are big or we are small. If we think globally, we can really become global. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's first. Sunil.
I would ask the panel to describe emerging economies and why they are important for global companies.
Okay.
Because, as I believe, we have given them a wrong name, emerging economies. Actually, we should tell them they are the largest markets for the global companies.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else you can ask a question at any time. I don't want to keep this very traditional and wait for the end of the session. You can ask a question after any panelist who may have gone. You can just ask a question so that we can make this more
global
of
company would be a company which is having operations in various countries, you know. At least that would essentially be a global company. If I'm just working in India, maybe I'm a good company at a national level. But global presence would certainly mean having multi-country operations working across the globe, kind of a thing. So that is, could be a takeaway, a starting definition for a global company.
Okay. Thank you. I think we can start off with these first three questions. I'm not a lawyer, but I'd like to put a disclaimer. Yes, Arup.
I thought when we talk about emerging markets, what we find is that we in India provide a huge market for the world economy, which our companies are not able to capture the way they should. And that I would like the panel to somehow take that into their presentation as to how do we, this Bitosa Global, help not only the alumni of BIT Misra, but also Indian companies who would like to actually capture the huge market that we have.
Thank you. I think we've got enough questions to start a conversation. As I was saying, I'm not a lawyer, but it's always good to put a disclaimer that, you know, whenever we talk about economies and business and forecast, I remember Professor Stephen from the Kennedy Government School in Boston says that these words are like religion. First, the priest, the high priest, and that, by that I mean all of us here who are business leaders, we talk of very mysterious and trivial things, first. And second is, much of what we profess or forecast may not come true. And third is, for everyone else to have belief in what we are saying requires a leap of faith. So with that caveat that, you know, we're going to have a conversation, but this is just a conversation. I think between all of us here, we must be having millions of hours of experience. And, you know, let's try and take away a few things from this panel when we finish off in 90 minutes. So I would at this time ask Niranka Saxena, please share your thoughts on this subject, but I would like you to definitely talk about one issue, and that is what Dr. Arup Roy Chaudhary also mentioned, because we're sitting in Bitosa Conclave, and you are in FICCI. How do you think FICCI can collaborate with an institution like ours and a foundation like Bitosa Conclave to either incubate, foster entrepreneurship, recognize leadership, or do anything of that sort? You can embed this also in your thoughts.
Good morning, my BIDN family. I am Niranka Saxena. I have studied in BIT from 81 to 85, did my computer science, and now serving Federation of Indian Chambers and Commerce of Industry as a senior director, looks after 7 verticals, in which I'd like to happy to inform you that we have a joint company with Ministry of Commerce called Invest India, in which 50% of the holding belongs to FICCI and 49% belongs to government. And before, for the audience, just give you a brief of what FICCI is on the theme of the topic of emerging market and global companies. FICCI set up in 1927 as an industry chamber with the vision of Mahatma Gandhi when we are fighting for economic freedom. Today, the legacy over more than 85 years, we are partner to the government in economic development. We have chapters in 84 countries. Through connecting through us, you can reach out to 84 countries. And we have our permanent office in 11 emerging markets, and the world best markets rather. So in FICCI, we work on domestic and international front. In domestic, major Indian companies are connected. And in the international front, our Indian companies who are exporting to those countries and the leading global companies who wanted to do business in India, they are our members in this initiative. Largest chamber of the country, representing close to about 300,000 companies, leading 3,400 corporates are on board, and it's a highway of networks. My message to our BIT and BIT Global would be, we would be very, very happy to provide this highway of business connectivity and synergy, which we see India as a potential emerging market in time to come. Giving some references on what India is heading towards the economic development. As you all know, India is going to be a $2 trillion economy. We are targeting $5 trillion by 2025 and $10 trillion economy by 2035. If we have to develop in this scale, we have to open this market for everyone, whether it is multinational companies or Indian companies, and allow fair, competitive, competition to grow. Very good topic. I'd like to also highlight some of the valued network our business friends of BITs can access. Today, with our effort of Invest India, and we work with DIPP and MEA, there are vibrant markets where you can access a lot of business opportunities. Everyone has heard about the BRIC initiative. The BRIC initiative, we have recently set up a fund also, and this fund is to doing business in these countries. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Now they come together